What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Versus on the channel. So this is Sunday's series. So first week we did Rui Costa and Ross Barkley. Last week we did Prime, Del Piero, and Inform Locadia. And this week we're actually doing Arjen Robben, and as you can see on the thumbnail, and Kingsley Coman, two right wingers from Bayern. I'd actually sold them both on when I was showing the team, but this is the team I used them in. I used them in that false nine formation to kind of put them further forward, try and make use of the wings as best I could. And it was just a primarily Bundesliga setup. I just used that Spanish link from Bartra to Casillas just because I like that Casillas card, that squad builder card. So I did just include some of the goals, definitely some of the highlights with Robben and Coman. So let's talk price really quick. Robben right now you can buy him for about 76k, 75k, somewhere in that neighborhood. Just like a week ago he was like 90k, so he's gone down a lot. Last night I bought him for 70 on a bit of a snipe, and then sold him today for like that 75. Look at that goal there from him. So that's what he can do. That's what he's good at, cutting in on that left foot and finessing it around the goalkeeper. He's been good at that for ages, and he's good at that in real life too. That's his signature, right? And it's a really, really great goal there. Then you have Coman, who right now, I believe he is about 2.2 to 2.5k, just a little bit expensive off discard, for a 79 rated, but still well worth it in my opinion. He was a very good card, and as a matter of fact, when we look at the stats, I think some of us might be surprised at what we see. So really nice through ball there, Aranguiz, and then he does put it away. Not great records with these two guys. I think the team I was using them in was actually pretty poor. I think the false nine's a bad formation. I wouldn't use it anymore. There's Robben popping up with a goal on his right foot, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I wouldn't use this false nine formation. I didn't think it worked how I hoped it would, but it did the job. We did okay. We did win some games. As you can see, Robben there popping up with his third goal of the game, hat trick for him. And again, I followed the same format: 2 offline games for each card, and then 3 online games for each card as well. We'll take an in-depth look at the stats at the end. Please stick around for the end of the video. That's where the best bit is. So definitely worth the watch there, and that as Robben gets another goal. So I believe he did have 4 goals in the 5 games we played, which isn't a terrible return for a winger, but the concerning thing was he had no assists, which is not great. Here's the Kingsley Coman stuff. Right to start off the game, he gets right in the box, crosses it over, and then later on in the same game, he is able to just beat all the defenders and slam one right past the goalkeeper. He does get a touch on it, but I was actually very impressed with Coman. I used him a lot last year when he was a left winger. He has great links to the French with Bayern. Not that Robben doesn't. There's some good central midfielders with that Dutch link, say like Davy Klaassen or Icons as well with Bergkamp or Hullet or something like that. And then, you got Strootman as well. So anyway, there's links with both of them. French is probably a little bit better with Coman, and obviously they're both right-sided players. Last year, Coman was that left midfielder, and I enjoyed using him there. I used him a lot last year there. I think I had an untradeable version of him, that's why. But, yeah, so this is about the end of the highlights. Coman did score a fair few goals, and he'll score one more here, and then you're going to see the stat sheet. I'm just going to jump right into the stat sheet this time instead of waiting, but I'm just going to grab a drink of water quick. Yeah, so this is the tail end of a really nice team goal here, moving around nicely, the 1-2 with Coman, and he does just clip it in off the post. Nice goal there. So you can see the stats here. We are looking at Coman at the top, Robben at the bottom. And for me, Coman, well, he won 3 games. He lost 2. Robben, on the other hand, also won 3 and lost 2, as a matter of fact, both winning their 3rd online game, interestingly enough. Coman did have the better average rating of 8.82 compared to Robben's 8.22. They both had a 10.0 and a 9.5, but Coman's 9.2 and 8.2 there dragged him up a little bit. Coman scored in almost every game he played in. See these question marks here were because I actually lost the footage and couldn't go back. I wasn't able to see that stuff, so apologies for that, but we did take the averages without it. And Coman basically beats Robben out in every stat, every single statistic. He scored more goals. He had way more assists. Well, most of them coming from that one game, but still, Robben didn't contribute a single assist. Coman generally had more shots and more on target compared to Robben's. He didn't take more than 2 in any game except 1. And then you have the passing percentage. Coman up at 80. Robben down at 76, and then dribble percentage, Coman up at 72, and Robben down at 67. So even if these guys were the same price, and you covered up the name, right? You covered up that name, and you said which player do you want based on these statistics, you'd take Coman every single time. And added bonus, he's like 70K cheaper. So for me, it's a pretty clear winner in this episode of Versus. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but it was pretty cut and dry. Kingsley Coman is definitely my call for this matchup as the better Bayern right winger, especially when you take into consideration price. So thank you to actually I'm going to look up the name really quick because somebody did get a shout in for this particular combination. I don't want to miss his name. I believe it was Rahit Mahmoud. Another good comparison would be Coman and Robben. So that is done, my friend. I had a pleasure doing it, and thank you for the suggestion. If anybody else is interested in giving suggestions, I'm more than happy to look at other players that you guys suggest. I have a pretty good amount of coins now, so I'm able to buy most players and check them out. So definitely do that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.